good morning. It's the Devil Head coffee mug, if you can just about see that. Here we are. Happy coffee time. So, while the big computer warms up, the microphone's still not working on it because it needs to do a Windows update, except the Windows update isn't available. Can't get Windows 11 on it, the processor's not powerful enough. So I'm doing this one, not off my phone, but off my Chromebook. While the big one warms up, I'll carry on with the book thing. Another one of my favourites is Neurmancer, or the whole Neurmancer, trilogy, quadrilogy. Burning Chrome is a selection of short stories that he wrote, but it's a matching edition to these, which are old. They are very well worn. I can't even tell you what edition these are, how old they are. I'll gently open it and see. 1987, Grafton Books. Published in Grafton 1986. Published in Grafton 1986, so it's an 86 edition. First published in Great Britain by Victor Gollanas 1984. So yeah, this could be from the 80s. Bloody hell, this book could be from the 80s. Quite likely. It's been well read. I sellotape down the back of the spine. I put wide sellotape down the back of the spine to try and protect them. But yeah, it's definitely in used condition, shall we say. And yeah, Neurmancer. Brilliant book. Absolutely brilliant book. William Gibson wrote it as a cautionary tale, and more or less like the horrors of runaway technology. And of course it became adopted by the cyberpunks, as did Snow Crash and some of the others. And it was a thing then, it was, because science fiction then, it had gone very big in the 70s. They were talking about Larry Niven's Ring World and all of that, where everything was so large, so enormous, planets, suns encompassed by Ring World. Yeah, like living on the rings of Saturn, artificial. Everything was big. The Dune, Frank Herbert's Dune, which they've just filmed again, a huge, sprawling, political opera kind of thing. And along comes William Gibson writing about people and implants, things inside people, much smaller, much more sort of closer sci-fi as well. And it's one of them books you sort of pick up and read, and every time you read it you get something different out of it. I mean, I really like the character of Finn. In the first one, in Neuromancer, he's a walking, talking character who's got agoraphobia. I think in Count Zero he doesn't really leave, it's been a while since I've read them, his office. And then in Mona Lisa Overdrive he's actually died and he's become sort of not an AI, but his memories are all on a thing, and he's sort of, his offices have become his storage for his memories. But I like that, and I like the whole, there's like a voodoo aspect to them, natural magic, transactional magic. You do this for me and I will do that for you. It's very sort of transactional voodoo, and it comes across in that. And as well, when you read them again, the contact with something else, his artificial intelligence, and the books are here, the cyberspace that he writes about in this, it contacts something else on maybe another dimension or something. So yeah, if you've never read them, and the film with Keanu in, it's watchable. It's got Ice-T in it. It's one of the short stories from Burning Chrome, actually. What's it called? See, I can't even remember what it's called, and as soon as I see the title I remember it. Johnny Mnemonic, that's the one. Yeah, that's about the closest to it. It's that's one of the short stories. But yeah, at the moment Neuromancer's unfilmable, but we said that about Lord of the Rings, Dune, The Wheel of Time, the Shannara Chronicles, pretty much everything that's unfilmable we're attempted to film. Okay, that's enough rambling about my favourite book. Let's have a look at what's happening on Twitter. The big computer is fired up eventually. Oh, that's an interesting one, yeah. So one of the Philemites I follow has tweeted up a picture of the Wheel of the Year. Now, this is quite interesting. You can't see it, but it's quite interesting. We were all pagan first. Every Christian was born of a pagan, if you traced it back far enough. So we were all pagan first. And yeah, I don't really bang on too much about my paganism, but yeah, I am. So here we are, the Wheel of the Year. Right, we're coming up now. Yule, based on Christmas. We've just had Samhain, which on this diagram everyone's favourite. So we start with a new year. So Samhain, everyone's favourite, which is Halloween. Yule, based on Yule. Christmas is based on Yule. So we're not based on Christmas. Christmas based on Imbolc, irrelevant. Early Valentine's Day. Osatra, Be Like Rabbit's Day. Beltane, Samhain 2 but kind of worse. Litha, I don't know, Sunday. Lammas, nobody really cares but bread is cool. Mabon, shitty Thanksgiving that nobody cares about. And then back to Samhain again. But it's, in all seriousness, when I lived up in Cheshire, I had a lot of history books and all that about the history about Cheshire. And again, like yesterday as I was talking about human nature, humans need to blow off steam. We need to socialise, get drunk, have a laugh, sit round the fire, and they need to do this about once every 6 or 8 weeks. So the pagan Wheel of the Year, with its 8 festivals, roughly 6 or 8 weeks apart, seems to be the ideal way. But if you follow one of them, you're going to get a blowout whenever your body and your psyche needs it. We're social creatures. A lot of us are antisocial. A lot of us prefer our own company, and we can go for weeks or days and days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks. But then we need to be social with us others of our tribe. And that manifests itself now as football matches or concerts or things like that, or trips to the theatre, stuff like that. That's what being social is. Like I say, that thing I posted yesterday where the AMMP turns around and says, well, poor people can't afford to go to football matches, can't afford to go to the cinema, so we don't need vaccine passports. It's basic human psychology, and I don't get this. I do this when I get stressed. I don't get why members of Parliament, who work very closely with the civil service and the government, don't understand human psychology. They're given little crash courses. I'm sure when you become an MP, and not just a backbencher, but when you become an MP that's relevant and has time in the newspapers, they put you on a PR course, what to wear, what to say. Never admit to anything by the look of it, but they definitely put you on these sorts of and why we don't give them a couple of afternoons saying this is human psychology, this is what people do, because they are people. They might be far removed from most people, but they started off as people, and they need to have a basic grounding in human psychology, just as I have given, like I say, a course in PR speak and how to behave in front of a camera. They need to be, instructed. People need to socialise. People need to mix, to gather. It goes back a long, long, long way. It goes back such a long way. It was how information was traded between villages, how things literally worked. And, to put people into lockdown and then to say, oh well, poor people don't do that. It just shows the lack of awareness of these elected representatives and leaders. Sound like a bit of a rant, but at least I've been on 2 subjects today, not just one. But yeah, anyway, cheers, peace out, and I will see you tomorrow.